hear me. Anyways, I just wanted to talk to you guys about the Nadis today. So this little picture is what we'll be talking about. So there's a Nadi on the left and a Nadi on the right. There's the Ida, the Pingala, and the Sushumna. And the Ida and the Pingala, they're go up the spine in like the cross pattern, and the Sushumna goes up the center. And so the Ida is on the left side of the body. So these nadis, they're energy channels. And so this is how the energy runs through the chakras, are through these channels. So the Ida is on the left. It's more of the like active energy. It relays pranic and mental energy. It starts at the base of the spine and ends in the left nostril. And it's stimulated through the left nostril. And so this is associated with feminine energy and the moon. And this is conserving energy, increasing serenity and calming the mind. And then the one on the right, sorry, this is the more active side. So this is the Pingala Nadi. It comes out the right side of the nose, and it starts at the base of the spine. And this conveys pranic and mental energy, and it's stimulated through the right nostril. It's associated with the masculine energy and the sun, and it also enables mental quickness and supports constructive actions. And then you have the one going up the center of the spine, and this is the main nadi. So this distributes the prana to the other chakras. It also passes through the spinal column, and it starts at the base of the spine. It's inactive when the other nadis are active. And this is what activates the rising of Kundalini, which is what we're going to talk about today. So I just wanted to give you guys that little visual, so that way when we talk about it later, you'll know what I'm talking about. So let's come into mountain pose. So feet together, hands by your sides. So you want to stand up really tall. Make sure your feet are aligned with your knees. Just make sure your knees are over your ankles. Your hips are over your knees. Roll your shoulders back and down. So you want to stand up really tall. You want to slightly tuck your chin in. You want to feel like there's a string being pulled through the top of your head. So you're standing up really tall, coming into mountain pose, Tadasana. You can shift the weight forward and back, left and right. You want to make sure the weight is evenly distributed in your feet. So come into mountain pose, just come into your body, stand up really tall, really feel the expansion across your chest. Then we'll create an intention for our practice tonight. So bring your hands to your heart. We'll do spirit to spirit. Close our eyes down. Just take a moment. Coming into our own body. And then you want to focus on the center of your chest. Focus on your spirit. If you don't see a color for your spirit, just make one up. And then focus on your healing guides, your ancestors, your teachers, your guardian angels, and the highest versions of themselves. And then universal cosmic consciousness, or the higher power. And just take a moment and create an intention for your practice tonight. Maybe you want to stretch something. Maybe you want to work something out. And then we'll take one deep inhale. And then exhale. Let's do that again. Inhale. Exhale. And then let's do some forward fold. So inhale, reach up really tall, and then gently come forward, bending at the hips. slowly roll to the top. Your head's going to come up last. And inhale, reach up really tall. Let's do that again. Inhale. So you can stay on your heels or you can come up onto your toes. Reach up really tall. And then come back to mountain pose, feet together. Roll your shoulders back and down. Really stand up tall. And I feel like there's a string being pulled through the top of your head. Just come into your body. Just take a moment and focus on being in your body for a moment. Okay, let's come into half moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana on the right. So inhale, reach up really tall. Then come onto your heels, come down, and we'll come over to the right. So feel the stretch all down the left side. Take some really deep breaths here. Now start taking those yogic breaths. So we inhale, push the belly out. Exhale, push the belly in. You can activate that ujjayi breath. It's that windy sound in the back of your throat. And then you come back to center, big circle with the arms. Let's do that again on the right. Inhale, reach up really tall. Come onto your toes and then come down on your heels. Come over to the left. To center, big circle with the arms. Let's come into another forward fold. Inhale, reach up really tall. Come onto your heels and then bending at the hips, come forward. And slowly roll to the top. Your head comes up last. Come back to mountain pose, feet together. Okay, so from here, let's come into chair pose. So feet hip width apart, and then we're gonna inhale, bring our arms up. Exhale, come as low as you can. Make sure your knees stay behind your toes. Take some deep breaths here. We're activating our lower chakras with this chair pose, first, second, and third. So take some deep breaths here. Really make sure your knees are behind your toes, ground your heels into the mat. Activating that first chakra with your legs. We're tucking the pelvis slightly in, tuck that tailbone in, activate that second chakra. Breathing through the navel, we're activating that third chakra. See if you can go any lower. Take some deep breaths here. And then let's release that into ragdoll. Inhale, reach up really tall. And then exhale, come forward, bending at the hips. And then grab the elbows here. Take some deep breaths. Let your head fall forward. Let your neck fall forward. You can bend your knees if that feels good. See if you can bring your torso closer to your thighs. Continue to take some deep breaths here, focusing on the head being below the heart. When the head is below the heart, we're able to hear the heart louder than the mind. And as you may have noticed, your mind likes to lie to you, tell you negative things about yourself all day long that aren't true. And you just tell the mind, yeah, I hear you, I don't, that's not true. And then slowly roll to the top, your head comes up last. And come back to mountain pose, feet together. Roll your shoulders back and down. Slightly bend your knees. You want to slightly tuck your chin in. You're going to feel that string being pulled to the top of your head. Okay, let's come into a sun salutation. So we're going to come to the front of our mat. Then we're going to bring our hands to our heart. And then we're going to inhale, come back, and then exhale, come forward, bending at the hips. And then from here, we're going to come back into a high lunge. So right foot comes back, left foot comes forward. So take some deep breaths here. If you need to tent your hands instead of it being all the way on the mat. If that's easier to like make a little tent out of your hands, go ahead and do that. And then we'll bring the left foot back into plank. Keep your butt low. Spread your fingertips as far apart as you can. Rock the weight into the heels of your palms. You can rock forward a little bit more and put some of the weight into the front of your palms. Then come halfway down, chaturanga, elbows stay by the sides. And then come all the way down. Let's come into cobra pose. Elbows underneath the shoulders. And then inhale, gently look up, exhale. We're focusing on that heart chakra. Really see if you can bring your shoulder blades onto your back here. And then let's do one more inhale, breathe into the heart. Exhale, come down. Let's push back into downward dog. So feet hip width apart, hands hip width apart. We're going to drive our tailbone up towards the sky. Drive your heels down towards the mat. Really spread your fingertips as far apart as you can here. Take some deep breaths. Pedal your feet if that feels good. And then look forward, bring that right foot through into a high lunge on the left side. And then bring that left foot forward and then slowly roll to the top. Your head's going to come up last. Coming back into mountain pose, feet together. Roll your shoulders back and down. Okay, let's come into our sun salutation on the other side. So bring your hands to your heart. And we're going to inhale, lift back. We're lifting up through the rib cage. And then exhale, come forward, bending at the hips. Take a couple breaths here. Inhale and exhale. Remember, the most important part of these postures is the breath. Without the breath, we're just doing exercise postures, but with the breath, we increase the prana that activates the yoga in our body, that kundalini energy rising. So make sure you're focusing on the breath. It's more important than the actual stretch. So you want to inhale, push the belly out. Exhale, push the belly in. Really breathe deeply as we go through the sun salutation. So left leg back. Make sure your knee is lined up with your ankle. Make sure you're taking really deep breaths. And then right foot comes back, coming into plank. And so feet together, keep your butt low, spread your fingertips as far apart as you can. Rock the weight to the front of your hands. Keep your butt low, zip your navel up into your spine. And then halfway down, chaturanga, elbows by the sides. Come all the way down. The top of your feet are on the mat now. Elbows underneath the shoulders. Inhale, look up. Coming into Sphinx pose. Really breathe into that heart chakra. See if you can feel the expansion across your chest. Then slowly come down. Let's push back into downward dog. So with feet hip width apart, hands hip width apart. Really drive your tailbone up towards the sky. Drive your heels down towards the mat. You can bend your knees if that feels good. Pedal your feet left and right. Take some deep breaths here. And then look forward. We're going to bring the left foot forward through the hands. Come into our high lunge. Make sure your knee stays over your ankle. And then bring your right foot forward and then slowly roll to the top. Your head's going to come up last. Coming back to mountain pose. Feet together. Roll your shoulders back and down. Okay, so from here, we're going to do some neck rolls. So bring your chin to your chest. We'll do 3 to the left. Just take your time. Make sure you're still taking those yogic breaths. Just send your breath to those tight spaces. And then when you're finished, we'll do 3 to the other side. If you stopped breathing, check in with yourself, start breathing again. And then come back to mountain pose. Let's do a forward fold. So let's do a back bend first. Inhale, reach back. Really lift through the rib cage. Exhale. Inhale again. See if you can lift up further through the rib cage. So we're protecting the low back by reaching back through the ribs. And then let's come forward. And then from here, let's walk back into all fours. And then let's come into child's pose. So feet together, knees hip width apart, or knees can be together. Take some deep breaths here. All right, and then from here, let's come into all fours. And then we are going to come into cat-cow. We're going to do inhale, we're going to lift up. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, look up. Exhale, chin to chest. So we're going to continue doing that because 3 minutes of our cat-cow balances all of the chakras. So while you guys do that, I'm going to explain the nadis like I was trying to explain earlier. So why were we talking about the nadis? So we were talking about a couple weeks ago, balance your third chakra and you balance the rest of your life. And the reason why when you balance your third chakra, you balance the rest of your chakras is because the energy comes in through the third chakra, down to the second, down to the first, and up the center of the spine. So this is the Kundalini rising, but how does it travel like that? So we have these energy channels in our body called the nadis, and these are like energy highway systems, and they're just like energy highways. And so these nadis, they are like highways where the energy runs. And so you have one in the center, the Sushumna, and then you have the Ida and the Pingala. And so the Sushumna goes up the center of the spine, and the Ida and the Pingala, those spiral up the spine, kind of like the caduceus, or like the caduceus in like the medical symbol that you see with the snakes. So like a double helix type of shape. It's going up to the center of the spine. And so those are going they're crisscrossing each other, and then you have the Sushumna. And so the way that it works is that the energy comes in through the third chakra, it goes down into the second chakra, and then it goes down in the first chakra, and it mixes with the Ida and the Pingala and the Sushumna at the base of the spine, and then it goes up to the top of the spine, and then it comes out the third eye point. This is where it reaches. And so this is also known as Kundalini rising. So when we talk about Kundalini rising, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about these nadis. We have 72,000 nadis in our body. These are the three main nadis. And so that's how the energy comes in, and that's called Kundalini rising. So it's going through the Sushumna. So it goes through the third chakra, goes down to the second chakra, goes down to the first chakra, and then goes up the top of the spine and mixes at the base of the spine, and then it shoots up, and then it actually goes out the top of the head. So it goes out the crown chakra, in through the point between the brow, goes into the pineal gland, and then actually shoots back up and then comes down. And so this is how the energy flows through the body. So that's why when you balance that third chakra by doing cat-cow, that's how you're balancing the rest of the chakras, and that's how you're balancing your life, because that's how you're getting the Kundalini energy to rise. And we're an electromagnetic being, which we talked about last week when we did that heart meditation. And so that's how cat-cow is balancing your life. So do 3 minutes of cat-cow and it balances your life. Okay, so let's come into a neutral spine. Let's stretch our shoulders. So coming into threading the needle. So bring your right arm through, bring your head to the mat. Just take some deep breaths here. Send your breath into any tight spaces. And then let's switch sides. Bring that left arm through. Okay, and then let's come onto all fours. And then let's come into a seated position, coming into easy pose. Okay, so let's activate that third chakra. So when we do the breath of fire, that's also activating that third chakra. So that's how we're strengthening that area. That's when the energy comes in. That's how we can get that rising of the energy, that Kundalini. Has a lot of different names, prana, Kundalini, energy running through the nadis. And so we're going to do a breath of fire. So we're going to come into ego eradicator. So we are going to raise our arms up to 60 degrees, and we're keeping the elbows straight and the shoulders down. And then you want to slightly tuck the chin in We're reaching the thumbs up as if we're plugging them into the sky. The fingers are on the base of the mounds up here. They're not down here. So our fingers are up here. And we're stretching the arms wide. And then we're going to do breath of fire. So let's do this together. We're doing even inhale and exhale through the nose while we're pumping the navel. Inhale, bring the thumbs together, stretch the arms. Exhale. On the shoulders, the neck, and the jaw. Okay, so let's come into our addiction meditation. So same thing, fingers really high up on the pads of the palms, thumbs gently on the temples. We're saying sa, ta, na, ma. We're gently clenching the back molars. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, so from here, let's come onto our backs and let's try stretch pose. Okay, so coming down, arms up off the mat, head up off the mat, feet 6 inches off the mat, and breath of fire. And if you have to put one foot down, you can do that, but at least try it. We're gonna try it, okay? All right, let's start. If you can't hold the legs, at least keep doing the breath of fire. Okay, do a couple more seconds. And then release. Feel the energy circulating through your nadis, through that third chakra, goes down to the second chakra, down to the first chakra, shoots up to the top of the head, out the third eye, into the right and left nostril, Goes right back into the top of the head and comes out the sides of your body. All the way into the ground. Okay, let's bring the feet to the mat. Then bring your knees into your chest. Rock left and right if that feels good. Okay, let's bring our feet to the mat. And then bring your right ankle over your left knee. Grab the back of your left knee. Let's bring the left foot down, bring the right foot down. Let's switch sides. And then release that. Let's bring our knees into our chest one more time. Rock left and right. And then let's finish Shavasana. The feet fall to each side. Take up as much space on your mat here as you'd like. And go ahead and take 5 yogic breaths on your own. And gently let your brows smooth over. Just relax your forehead. Let your eyes relax. Feel Feel the muscles at the corners of the eyes relax. Imagine a slight smile at the corner of the eyes. Let the jaw relax. Let your tongue fall back into the root of your mouth. Let your shoulders relax. See if you can feel the tension moving from ice to water, water to gas. Letting go. Moving down your arms and feeling into your fingertips. Feel the tingling aliveness that's here right now. See if you can feel the life pulsing in your hands. And just take a moment and focus on your heart. Just focus on what's there right now. Maybe you're angry or sad. Maybe you don't feel anything. Maybe you feel disconnected. Just take note of what's there right now. And add a smile. Just focus on your belly. Let your belly relax. Add a smile to your navel. Coming down to your hips. Let your hips relax. And smile from hip to hip. And the weight and the length and the volume of your legs as they take up space on your mat. Now see if you can feel each part of your body as a whole right now. Coming into that coherent state where we're able to change the electromagnetism around us in our environment. Slowly start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Bring some life back into your limbs. And then bring your arm up over your side and roll over onto your side. Slowly come up into a seated position. Eyes closed, bring your hands to your heart. So we'll end our class with spirit to spirit and healing streams of grace. So we'll acknowledge our own spirit. If you don't see a color for your spirit, just make one up. Just focus on the center of your chest and pick a color if you don't see one. And then acknowledge your guardian angels, your healing guides, your ancestors, the highest versions of themselves, and then the higher power. And then ask for healing streams of grace to come in, and go ahead and fill in the blank. Whatever you would like healing on, or I'd ask like healing streams of grace to come in and balance my third chakra, whatever you want. Looks like yellow streams of light coming over us. And then you just thank the healing streams of grace. Thank you. And thanks for coming to my class. Namaste.